What's up, guys? Live stream 2 days in a row. What? Check out this shirt too, by the way. No one cares. Work harder. I like it. I do care, but I don't care about excuses. So there's that. I just want to jump on really quickly and kind of tell you something that just happened to me and make a little mental note for those of you who are walking down this lovely journey of life, trying to figure it out. And sometimes we feel like we self-sabotage, sometimes we're blocking, we don't even realize we're doing it, all of that good jazz. So I wanted to pop on real quick and say that and tell you guys something really quickly. Thanks, Emily. Hey. So I went into the coffee shop here in town, and it's actually a different one than my normal one that I like to go to because the other one's getting remodeled today. Everything happens for a reason. So that's why I wanted to say this to you guys. Like, the universe conspires. I walk into the coffee shop, I'm dressed like this, so let's be real, I don't necessarily look like a business owner. I probably look like a college student, maybe, I don't even know. But I walk in and get my coffee, I sit down. Hey, Justin. And this woman was like, hey, like out of nowhere. She's like, hey, do you know how to do PowerPoint on Google? And I'm like, yes, actually I do. Because like, for those of you who don't do business with me, like I run my entire filing system and all that stuff on Google Suite, like Google Drive. So I'm like, yeah, actually. So I started showing her how to do it and like where to find them and how to store it. And like, she didn't know how to delete this other thing and like all this stuff. So just randomly, I literally had just ordered my coffee and I just ended up sitting with this woman for a minute and helping her. Turns out that she just got her doctorate and she helps women who are dealing with trauma, basically take their back control of their lives and all of those things. So it was really funny because she like introduced herself as she was leaving and made that connection with me. And what I wanted to tell you guys was like, there was a time when I wouldn't make eye contact with somebody because I didn't want to really start up conversation, or I know like the energy I was putting off probably wasn't super inviting to some people. I know that a lot of people prejudge me usually when I see them and they don't come up and speak to me, whatever, that's fine. But I know that my energy I put off now is very different. So the fact that like this woman just started this conversation with me was really great. And it always feels really good to connect with people like that. Hey, Mike. Hey, Cody. Oh, Cody, you weren't even saying hi to me. You were saying hi to Kyle. What? That's cool, though. I see you. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I love interacting with people like that, and those are the kind of connections that I crave. Like, I literally talk about how I want to make more, like, in-person connections with people and be open to that and be more relatable and approachable and those types of things. So that is an intention that I've put out into the universe. But this is why I'm making this live stream, because I want you guys to understand. Number one, there are 3 big things you have to understand here. The universe is always conspiring for you. It is always conspiring to deliver you whatever it is that you're wanting, needing, whatever in that moment. But if you're not paying attention, chances are you're not going to see it. You're not going to notice. You're not going to take advantage. You're not going to see the opportunity and be able to take advantage of the opportunity and actually have the conversation and make the connection and whatever. For God only knows, I could stay on a stage with that woman in a year or in 6 months or next weekend, and we could be doing speeches together. Like I talked to her about some webinars she can do and this different shit. God only knows where that's going to go, right? Who knows? That's not what I'm looking for, but I wanted the connection and I was open to it. I paid attention to it and I allowed it to happen. The other things that you need to realize is one of the things that we tend to do without realizing we're doing it. Who are all these people that are getting, I guess you can see who's getting live and I can't see who's getting live, Cody, because I don't even know who you're talking to. Another thing that we need to realize is that, like, subconsciously, if you're not prepared and open to the things that you're saying that you want, and the universe then tries to deliver them to you, but you'll block it without even realizing you're doing it, because you're not paying attention, you're not truly open to it. So a lot of times we'll say these things and we'll be like, oh my God, this is what I'm trying to create or receive or whatever, and it never comes to me. Well, it's probably not coming to you because you're not actually ready to receive it yet. So that's one of those things. Oh, Sean must be like incognito because I didn't know he was on. Hi, Sean. But that's one of those things that, like, if we're not paying attention and we're not truly open to receiving those things and actually seeing what the universe is conspiring to receive, like to provide to us, then again, we're not going to receive it. It's not actually going to be ours, or it'll pass right by, will block it. Like, all of that stuff happens. Hey, Tony. So the other thing is like, if what you're projecting out into the world, now here's the other part, guys, this is about to get real serious for a second. This is not what you're saying, this is what you're thinking. What you're thinking is actually more powerful than what you're saying. So if you're running around talking all positive and I want this and I want that and this is my life and I'm ready for this and I'm making all this money and I'm open to this and blah, 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 blah. If you're saying all of those things, but you're not thinking them, you're thinking negative, you're thinking I'm not worthy, you're thinking I don't have a space for this, you're thinking I'm terrified, you're thinking I don't really want this, you're thinking how could I ever deal with that? Like, if you're having negative self-talk, you are not going to attract the things the positive things. Those, your thoughts and your voice have to go together. And then of course, obviously action comes along with that. But like, that you got to get that shit in sync. And what you have to understand is yes, the universe is always conspiring for you because like attracts like. But if you're putting a bunch of negative thoughts out into the world, what do you think you're going to attract? Like, we wonder why we get stuck in patterns, or why we keep getting delivered the same situations, or we keep getting delivered this same problem, or the same people, or the same whatever it may be. Like, it's because subconsciously in our minds and our thoughts and the things that we're not really paying attention to, that's what we're attracting it. That's what we're attracting in such a big way. Thank you, Mike. Hey, Jennifer. Thanks, Michelle. So that's what I just wanted to say to you guys. Like, that interaction with this woman in the Starbucks is what just like provoked this, I guess you would say, within me, is that like, I know that my energy is open and pure and ready to speak to people, and I've put the intention out there that I want to make those kinds of connections with real people who are doing real fucking things in the world. And I'll be damned if I don't walk into the little bitty Starbucks here down the street from me in a town that most people in St. Louis think is shit, when it's really not. It's an amazing place to live. And I run into a doctor who, this is exactly what she does for a living, right? She's changing people's lives. And like, what are the odds of that? And I was able to help her and add value into her life and give her some advice and show her how to use Google Documents and do all of those things. But I was open to that. Like, not only am I projecting that I want that, but I'm open to it. And like, that was the thing I did wrong for so many years. I was like, I want this, I want this, I want this. But I wasn't actually like really open to receiving it. I was still closed off. My energy wasn't open. I wasn't ready, like those types of things. Garbage in, garbage out. Yes, the mind is the most powerful thing. I agree. It's all about the energy you're putting out. So what's the secret to change the thoughts? Cody, great question. Basically, so first of all, I want you to know this isn't going to happen overnight, and it never stops. My favorite question people ask me is, when do I stop doing mindset work? And I'm like, never. You never stop doing mindset work. It is a daily thing that you will do for the rest of your life. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're fucking Tony Robbins. Guarantee you, I know for a fact, he still does mindset work every single day. He is very, very aware of his thought process all day, every day. He is very aware of babysitting his thoughts and where his mind is. Obviously, now at this point, it's a little easier for him because it's what he does all the time, right? He's been doing it for so many years, but it still has to be a present thing that you're doing. I don't know if Sean is still alive, but I guarantee you, I know for a fact, Sean does mindset work every single day. A lot of you probably think that he doesn't have to. No, he does. Like, he's still a person. So what you do for that, Cody, is you basically have to start babysitting your thoughts. When you start to think negatively, you have to catch yourself and flip it. You have to say, no, like, why am I thinking that? What is the problem? Is there something that I need to deal with, to heal, to whatever that's coming up within me that's making me think this negative blah, blah, blah about myself? Those are the things you have to start paying attention to. Like, if you're not paying attention to the thoughts in your mind, then you're not going to be able to create and have control over the things in your physical space. That's just the reality. In such a big way, like just such a simple transaction as me being around this woman and having this interaction with this woman today. What I realized was, one time I was having a conversation with someone. I'm like, I want this. I write about it every day, and this is what I'm trying to create, and I want this type of connection, and blah, 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 blah. And what we realized was, and to just be completely transparent with you guys, I was scared of that. I was scared of making connections with strangers like that, because for so many years I have been judged and rejected, and there were many situations where I was treated badly. And so I was protecting myself from being in that space again. I was protecting myself from being judged. You know, there was a time where I wouldn't have fucking walked into a place like this. This is how the universe conspires in tricky ways too. There was a time that there in a million years I wouldn't have walked out in public in a crop top, let alone into a fucking coffee shop and sat at my computer and worked for 2 hours in a crop top. But like, because I'd be like, oh my God, everyone's gonna judge me. They're gonna think I'm just this conceited bitch. Like, who the fuck does she think she is? Blah, blah, blah. But instead I'm like, this is just who I am. It's fucking 100 degrees in St. Louis right now. Like, I love this shirt. It's hilarious. I just got it. I'm wearing it. I'm not going to change again before I go to the gym. So here we are. And I walked in, and what do you know? A doctor came up to me and had a conversation with me. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody judged me. Nobody treated me differently. And it was because I was projecting that energy for so long that that's what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was allowing into my space, or therefore blocking in my space, because it was a fear. And fear is real, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever read the story or the book by Elizabeth Gilbert, Big Magic, but like, she describes it in such a perfect way. Fear is never going to go away. I don't care who you are, what you're doing, how big you are, whatever. You could be a multimillionaire, whatever. We all have fear. It will always be present. But what you have to recognize is you got to look that shit in the face and say, you know what? Like, you're always going to be here, and you're going to be a part of my life and this part of my situations and here with me as I go along the way. And that's awesome. But you can't drive, because fear will always be there. You will never not have fear. Like, it's just a part of human life, like nature. But you have to learn to understand that you can tell it to sit down and shut up. When you're babysitting your thoughts, you can tell that, just sit down and shut up. Like, you can be here, but you're going to take a seat back there, and you're not going to drive. You're not even going to have control over the radio, she says. And that's absolutely the accurate thing. Like, you need to just acknowledge, though, that it will always be there. You just get to choose whether you let it drive or not. Does this make sense? Awesome. You guys are awesome. You are very welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fear is an indicator that you're about to grow. Fear, I mean, I feel like fear is an indicator of a lot of things, but it's definitely an indicator that you are growing and that you are getting out of your comfort zone. That, here's the other thing I want you to think about, and this, I'll leave you guys with this, unless anybody has any questions, pop them in now. But I'll leave you with this. Here's the thing, like, if you have fear, and fear is popping up and controlling you, most likely your thoughts and your energy are not matching your words. So you're saying that you want something, and that you're telling the universe, like, I want this, I'm ready for this, give this to me. But your thoughts are like, oh fuck, what happens if it actually happens? Holy shit, what am I gonna do if this gets delivered to me? I'm not worthy of that. I'm not ready for that. What am I gonna do? And you let fear drive the bus, and guess what happens? The universe tries to deliver this to you, and you fucking block it. Boop, out the way. Why? Because of that fear. Because you let the fear that's running your mind, like your thoughts, and which then portrays your energy, that's what's going to block it at the end of the day. What you're saying out of your mouth is irrelevant. So there's that. Yes, Elizabeth. Boom. All in the Starbucks parking lot, guys. All in the Starbucks parking lot. So that's my message. I'm glad so many people jumped on today. Thank you for listening. Y'all are awesome. Shit, now what am I going to do? 100%. So, thank you guys for... Ooh, I love when I give people goosebumps. Thank you for telling me that, Emily. And goosebumps are the way I measure everything, just in case you were wondering. So 100% how I measure shit. Alright, y'all, I'm going to jump off. I got to go to the gym. I got to do my shit. Pump the brakes. Let the fear smash the windshield. No shit, right? If you guys like this message, please give it a thumbs up. I totally appreciate you. And I don't know if you realize how much that actually helps me when you like things, but it really does. And if you like this message and you think someone else can benefit from it, as always, please feel free to share it on into your world. But you guys go out, conquer the day, be amazing. Make sure that your thoughts are matching your words and your energy, and that's how you will start to actually be able to receive the things that you want and desire. And prevent yourself from blocking them. So I'll talk to y'all soon.